A 7 Action News investigation prompting a federal agency to ask for a probe into the conditions and COVID-19 protocols inside McLaren Macomb Hospital. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Alan Campbell. And tonight, medical staffers are speaking out, telling us this isn't the only McLaren location with alleged problems. 7 investigator Heather Catallo has the story.
Following our investigations, the unions representing thousands of McLaren employees issued a press release today, claiming the hospital system is putting workers across the state at risk. McLaren Macomb staff sharing photos of dirty bathrooms, bags of garbage, and soiled linens. Last month, 2 nurse whistleblowers from the emergency department told the 7 investigators the hospital wasn't sanitizing rooms and equipment properly after treating COVID-19 patients. And other complaints to the state allege that COVID patients were not isolated.
It is very dirty, that it is not clean, it is not being sanitized. We have 2 housekeepers on the day shift for a massive emergency department. After 3 p.m., 1 housekeeper is shared for most of the hospital.
It's terrifying because someone could be coming in for abdominal pain and they're going to be leaving with COVID.
Those nurses asked that we hide their identities because they fear losing their jobs. But after they spoke out, the 7 investigators received allegations from more employees saying other McLaren locations also had staffing and COVID protocol issues as well.
And everybody's fleeing. I mean, we had another tech today put in her 2 weeks. She's just burnt out. Everyone's burnt out.
Certified surgical tech Keegan Kubatsky works at McLaren Thumb Region Hospital in Bad Axe. As a union steward, she is allowed to share her identity with us. Kubatsky says the hospital did not tell employees last fall that they had not been testing patients for COVID-19 prior to surgeries.
We were under the assumption that they were all getting tested. And then come to find out in November of last year, we found they weren't getting tested at all.
Kubatsky says after that, the hospital did test some patients, but she says they recently learned patients coming in for quick procedures like cataract surgery or pain injections are still not tested for the coronavirus.
So they're not masked, not COVID tested, never been COVID tested, and we weren't aware.
Kubatsky says all of those untested patients share the same pre-op area.
We're not quarantined after we do cases with patients that haven't been tested. So then we're right on to the next patient.
The 7 investigators asked the state's Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, or LARA, about complaints filed against McLaren since the start of the pandemic at some of the locations that employees have been telling us about. Here's what a LARA spokeswoman told us. Since March 1st of 2020, the state received 11 complaints about McLaren Oakland in Pontiac. All 11 complaints were referred to the hospital's accrediting organization and other entities. 25 complaints were filed against McLaren Flint. 4 of those were referred to the Federal Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS, and 2 of the complaints were approved for a pending investigation. 11 complaints were filed about McLaren Lapeer Hospital. 10 of those were referred to accrediting organizations or other entities. 1 complaint was substantiated and a citation was issued. And at McLaren Thumb Region, 1 complaint was received and it was approved by CMS for investigation.
Just because we work for a hospital, you would think that they would do the right thing, that we'd be following all the safest protocols, and it's very much not happening.
McLaren officials released a new statement to us today that says, quote, providing clean, welcoming facilities and services to all our patients must be a fundamental operational goal. We are following the guidelines and standards set out in state of Michigan regulations and those of the CDC for providing clean, sanitary conditions and COVID-19 testing of patients and employees. We are committed to identifying and quickly correcting any conditions that do not meet these basic standards. And McLaren officials also sent us more information about their COVID-19 testing protocols and their staffing situation. We'll have that for you at WXYZ.com. I'm Heather Catallo, 7 Action News.
Heather, thank you.